Shakti, the comprehensive guide to improving sexual stamina and intimacy, a holistic approach to timing, connection, and satisfaction. Introduction. Redefining the concept of timing in intimacy. The desire to improve timing during intercourse is one of the most common concerns shared by individuals and couples across all demographics. It is a topic shrouded in myth, anxiety, misinformation, and often unnecessary shame. When people ask how to last longer or improve their timing, they are rarely asking for a simple mechanical fix. Instead, they are seeking a deeper sense of connection, confidence, mutual satisfaction, and freedom from the performance anxiety that can plague sexual experiences. It is crucial to begin this extensive guide by dismantling the primary misconception surrounding sexual timing, that there is a single universal standard for how long intercourse should last. Popular culture, pornography, and societal myths have created an unrealistic benchmark, often implying that penetrative sex should last for 30 minutes, an hour, or even longer. This expectation is not only biologically inaccurate for the majority of the population, but also psychologically damaging. Research consistently shows that the average duration of penetrative intercourse, from penetration to ejaculation, ranges between 5 and 7 minutes. Yet many individuals feel inadequate if they do not meet the exaggerated standards set by media. Therefore, improving timing is not merely about delaying ejaculation or extending the duration of penetration. It is about optimizing the entire sexual experience. It involves understanding the physiological mechanisms of arousal and climax, mastering psychological regulation techniques, enhancing communication with a partner, improving overall physical health, and redefining sex as a holistic journey rather than a race to a finish line. This guide will explore every facet of sexual stamina and timing. We will delve into the science of the sexual response cycle, the psychology of performance anxiety, the role of lifestyle factors, specific behavioral techniques, the use of tools and aids, the importance of foreplay and non-penetrative intimacy, and the dynamics of partner communication. By the end of this comprehensive exploration, you will have a robust toolkit for enhancing your sexual life, not just by changing the clock, but by changing the quality of the connection. Part 1. Understanding the physiology of sexual response to improved timing. One must first understand the machinery of the body. Sexual response is not a monolithic event. It is a complex interplay of neurological, vascular, hormonal, and muscular systems. Understanding these systems allows us to identify where interventions can be made effectively. The Masters and Johnson model and beyond, the foundational model of human sexual response, was developed by William Masters and Virginia Johnson in the 1960s. They identified 4 phases. Excitement. The initial phase where arousal begins. Blood flow increases to the genitals, vasocongestion, muscle tension rises, myotonia, heart rate and breathing accelerate, and lubrication occurs in females while erections occur in males. Plateau. The intensity of arousal levels off at a high peak. In males, the testes elevate and the urethral sphincter closes. In females, the outer third of the vagina swells, the orgasmic platform. This phase can last from a few seconds to several minutes. Orgasm. The release of sexual tension. This involves rhythmic contractions of the pelvic muscles, a surge of neurochemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, and intense pleasure. In males, this is typically accompanied by ejaculation. Resolution. The body returns to its unaroused state. Males enter a refractory period during which another orgasm is physiologically impossible for a time. Females may not have a refractory period and can potentially experience multiple orgasms. Later, Helen Singer Kaplan added a crucial fifth phase, desire. This highlights that sexual response begins in the brain, not just the genitals. The neurobiology of ejaculation and climax, for those concerned with premature ejaculation, PE, or lasting longer, understanding the neurobiology of ejaculation is critical. Ejaculation is controlled by two distinct centers in the spinal cord. The emission center, located in the thoracolumbar region. This controls the movement of sperm and seminal fluid into the urethra. The expulsion center, located in the sacral region. This controls the rhythmic contractions of the pelvic floor muscles that expel the semen. These centers are regulated by the brain. The brain sends signals via the sympathetic nervous system, which triggers ejaculation, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which maintains erection and arousal. The balance between these two systems is delicate. High levels of anxiety, stress, or overstimulation can tip the balance toward the sympathetic system, triggering ejaculation prematurely. Conversely, a relaxed state supports parasympathetic dominance, allowing for sustained arousal without immediate climax. Neurotransmitters play a pivotal role. Serotonin, particularly acting on the 5-HT2C receptor, is known to inhibit ejaculation. Low levels of serotonin activity are associated with premature ejaculation. This is why selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, commonly used as antidepressants, are often prescribed off-label for PE. They increase serotonin availability, thereby delaying ejaculation. Dopamine, on the other hand, promotes sexual desire and arousal. Oxytocin facilitates bonding and uterine pelvic contractions. The role of the pelvic floor. The pelvic floor muscles, specifically the bulbocavernosus and ischiocavernosus muscles, are the engines of sexual function. In males, these muscles contract during ejaculation. In females, they contract during orgasm. The strength and control of these muscles are directly linked to sexual stamina. Many individuals suffer from either hypertonic, too tight, or hypotonic, too weak, pelvic floors. Hypertonic pelvic floor, chronic tension in these muscles, can lead to premature ejaculation because the muscles are already primed for contraction. It can also cause pain during intercourse. Hypotonic pelvic floor. Weak muscles may struggle to maintain erection rigidity or control the urge to ejaculate. Improving timing often requires retraining these muscles. This is not just about strengthening them, Kegels, but also about learning to relax them, reverse Kegels. The ability to consciously relax the pelvic floor during high arousal is a key skill in delaying climax. Sensory processing and thresholds. Every individual has a different sensory threshold. Some people are highly sensitive to tactile stimulation, meaning that even light touch can rapidly escalate arousal to the point of no return. Others have a higher threshold and require more intense or prolonged stimulation to reach climax. This sensitivity is not fixed. It can be influenced by frequency of sexual activity. Longer periods of abstinence can lower the threshold, making one more sensitive. Regular sexual activity can help raise the threshold. Psychological state. Anxiety heightens sensory awareness, making stimuli feel more intense. Relaxation dampens excessive sensory processing. Physical health. Conditions like diabetes or neuropathy can alter sensation, sometimes reducing it, sometimes causing hypersensitivity. Understanding your own sensory profile is the first step in managing timing. If you know you are highly sensitive, you can adjust your techniques accordingly, such as using thicker condoms, desensitizing agents, or focusing on less sensitive areas of the body before returning to highly sensitive zones. Part 2. The psychology of performance and timing. While physiology provides the hardware, psychology provides the software. For many, the issue of timing is not primarily physical, but psychological. Performance anxiety is the single greatest destroyer of sexual stamina and satisfaction. The cycle of performance. Performance anxiety, creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. The sequence typically looks like this. Fear of failure. The individual worries about lasting long enough or satisfying their partner. Hypervigilance. During sex, instead of being present in the moment, the individual monitors their own arousal levels obsessively. Am I getting close? How much time has passed? Am I doing this right? Sympathetic activation. This monitoring triggers the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. Adrenaline is released. Physiological impact. Adrenaline constricts blood vessels, potentially weakening erection, and accelerates heart rate and muscle tension, pushing the body closer to ejaculation. Premature climax or loss of erection. The physiological changes lead to the very outcome the individual feared. Reinforcement. The failure reinforces the fear, making the next encounter even more anxious. Breaking this cycle requires shifting the focus from performance to pleasure. This is easier said than done, but it is the cornerstone of all successful therapeutic interventions for sexual timing issues. Spectatoring sex therapist Bernard Zilbergeld coined the term spectatoring to describe the phenomenon where an individual mentally steps out of the sexual experience to observe themselves. Instead of feeling the sensations, they are judging their performance. Spectatoring disconnects the mind from the body, reducing pleasure and increasing anxiety. To improve timing, one must learn to stop spectatoring. This involves mindfulness, techniques that anchor the individual in the present moment. Instead of thinking about the clock, the focus shifts to the texture of the skin, the sound of breathing, the warmth of the body, and the emotional